sense of moral reformation, a knowledge of self.
We must work passionately and unrelentingly for first-class citizenship.
For instance, if the average so-called Negro, he doesn't think that he can go into business and provide jobs for himself.
We've got to get smart. We've got to organize.
And because of this, he thinks that he can only get a job from the white man, or he can only get clothes from the white man, or he can only get food from the white man.
We've got to organize so effectively and so well and engage in such powerful creative protest that there will not be a power in the world that can stop us.
We gotta be proud to be black. Don't worry about what they say. We gotta think smarter and live smarter. We gotta want more and work harder, cause they ain't giving it to us. Put your all in. If you truly wanna make it, can't be waiting for handouts, baby, you gotta take it. Like Martin gotta have a dream, cause he had one. Like Malcolm, by any means, gotta get that done. Don't be ashamed of who you are, stick your chest out proud. Make them believe that you're the best, show them what you about. We gotta love each other, stop killing each other. We gotta unitize and don't believe the lies. This is a message to the blacks and any other minority. Live well and love self, that's the priority.
Been taught for so many centuries that they are nobody is not easy.
So they very skillfully made you and me hate our African identity.
Maybe the English language should be reconstructed so that teachers will not be forced to teach the Negro child 60 ways to despise himself and thereby perpetuate his false sense of inferiority.
Our features and our skin and our blood, why we had to end up hating ourselves. It made us feel inferior.
We must no longer be ashamed of being black.
Hey, thank you, John. See, Jumbo, everybody. I am your host, Kathryn Hunter Williams, and with my co-host, Kathryn
Blake. Hallelujah. Have a happy day, everybody.
Sometimes we get tangled up. But I be watching the professionals on television, radio. They have their issues sometimes with theirs, too.
Yes.
And I've never said that I was a radio personality or a television personality. Mm-hmm. I just do the best I can. All right. Let's move on with the show. For some reason, is it just coming in this ear, John? Because it's not coming in on the...
Yeah, that's what's going to do that. I don't know why.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
It was like that last time.
Oh, okay. Well, we welcome you all back to Satora's Black History Corner internet program, which comes to you every second and fourth Monday of the month at 3 p.m. No, I'm sorry, 3:30. Thank you, Kathryn. That's why I got co-host. Check me, Lord. Okay, as always, we like to invite you to call in with any questions or comment. The number is 810-208-1854. That's 810-208-1854. We not only tell our story about past great heroes and sheroes, but also about the living in the present day. Today we have a special guest, Miss Robbie Richardson Grier, who has accomplished a lot of firsts in the city of Flint.
Amen.
And we're going to tell our story also about the black women's suffrage movement, which is Miss B going to talk about today. So are you ready to pass our story on?
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Hello, everybody. What a good day to have history. As you know, August 26th of this year, 2013, is Women's Equality Day. And the NAACP, which is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, will be hosting the suffrage program today, suffrage event. We will be honoring the 100th year anniversary of the suffrage march of March 13, 1913. Which
now, wait a minute. Now, that is the black women suffrage movement.
Hold on.
Okay.
No.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh.
This is where the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc. Was the only black organization that was in the 1913 suffrage march.
Okay.
And the Deltas was founded by Mary Church Terrell, and Ida B. Wells.
Okay.
Those were two of the women that also helped found the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Okay, so those are still American Africans. That's all why I said
Yes.
Black women's suffrage movement.
Right. Well, see, we're trying to bring forth history that is not available for everybody, and we're also talking about. We're also going to award some women, Black women first, here in Flint, Michigan, and we have one of those ladies right here with us, and Mrs. Robbie Grier. But you wanted some more about the suffrage?
We could talk about that a little later after we talk to our guest and get her
Okay.
going and let her tell about her first, and also just about her history and some your bio, as we call it, and those wonderful things that you did as the first
Amen.
American African woman,
In
not
Flint,
African
in
American
Flint.
woman that did this in Flint.
There's some good things going on in Flint.
Yes, it is, and we
Yes,
don't
there
want
are
people to
good
forget
things.
about it.
No. Well, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but my mother brought me here as a toddler. And I've been living in this area ever since. I went to Roosevelt Elementary School, which now is part of the 475 Expressway. And at the end of the 4th grade, then we moved to Millington. And so I graduated from Millington High School, where I was the only speck in the buttermilk, so to speak. And
Now, for some of them people that don't know what that means,
I
means
was
she
the
was
only
only.
African American among the Caucasians on the campus. Now, I had six brothers and sisters, but I was older, so I was always the only black in any particular school. The only black in lower L, the only black in upper L, only black in middle school, and only black in high school.
Okay.
I left Millington, and then I went to nursing school, Grace Hospital School of Nursing in Detroit.
Wow.
I did not last, well, I only lasted one semester, and my father came down there, and he brought me home, and that's where I was, he brought me home. They gave me a failing grade in what they call foundations. And it turned out that the reason that they gave it to me was because I fraternized too much with the other black people.
Now that's unusual, but not
Yes.
really. Not in
Well,
that time.
At that time, it was not unusual because at that time, the etiquette was that you fraternize with those of your level and above. So I was not supposed to say hello when I walked on the floor to the ward helper or the PN or the nurse's aide or whatever, and they were all black. That's where the black people were, because there were only 2 of us who were student nurses.
Now tell them this year when that was going on, when that happened. What was the year?
That would have been 1962,
Okay.
the fall of 1962.
Before we start rising, as I call it, the army rising up.
Yes.
Okay.
The fall of 1962.
Yes.
So I came back to Flint, and I subsequently went to nursing school at Mott, but you have to understand also back then, it was as though your parents or adult relatives could dictate what your life was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it was their decision that I would make a good nurse.
Wasn't yours, huh?
It wasn't mine. It was
Okay.
their decision. Finally, I said,
But
well,
did
no.
that work out for you? No.
No, that didn't work out for me.
This
It's
because
not
it wasn't
where
what you wanted to do.
It wasn't where I wanted to be. I wanted
Y'all
to help
hear that
people.
out there? You could tell your children what
Yes.
you want them to be, but it's best to let them be what they want to be.
It's
That's
best
right.
for them to make their own decisions.
Yes. Okay.
And also don't perpetrate it. You know, I've tried my best not to make decisions for my children because so many decisions were made for me of what I should be doing. Now, in '63, that was when I came to nursing school here. And also I worked with my uncle, who was J. Merrill Spencer at the House of Spencer Mortuary. I was an all-around, he's deceased.
Yep.
I was an all-around person working there. In 1965, I took a job at the Retailers Credit Bureau. At that time, there was no internet and the things that we have now. If you went to a store and you wanted to start an account, you would fill out an application, and the designated person at that establishment would call the Retailers Credit Bureau and be given a credit report.
They still do that today. They think it's new. Huh?
No, that's
For what? When you getting hired for somewhere?
When you're getting hired for somewhere and they make and they get a report on you?
Yes, they do. They do that today. Talk to these chaps today. They are doing that. That's why a lot of them cannot get jobs, because they do that credit report on them.
And criminal
They doing that
background,
today.
yeah.
So what I'm pointing it out is that's not new, y'all. That was going on in her time.
Yes.
Okay, so and it's still going on
Just
today.
slower then.
Yeah.
So I was hired and I was a runner. That meant that I would look up the files in, they had a couple of rows of file cabinets, and bring it to the operator.
And what job was that?
That was Retailers Credit Bureau, but everyone started as a runner.
Okay, and a runner in what? What was that? You was working at the credit bureau.
Retailers Credit Bureau.
That's
yes.
the first one of the first things.
And
One of the
then-
first things she did.
And then I worked up. It only took me 2 months. Some people it took a year. It only took me 2 months, and I worked up to be operator, switchboard operator, where I would actually give the reports.
Oh.
And I was operator 13.
Yeah. Okay. Which they say is a bad luck number, but it's not.
If you're working with the Lord, then you aren't scared of things that man sits down to be
Amen.
bad.
Plus, you know, he made the 13th of the disciples,
He
the
sure
12
did.
disciples in him. That's number
Sure
13. So get that mess out your out your mind. Like she said, that's man. That's not of God.
That's right.
And to show you the discrimination, I don't know what I sound like now, but at that time, I sounded as if I was white. People really couldn't tell the difference.
Oh, they liked you, didn't they?
Oh, they liked you.
I know they did.
So, but see, the merchants, they didn't know what I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they really were asking, for the simple reason there hadn't been any blacks working for Retailers Credit Bureau.
Okay. But
But
your
I
voice
really-
also fit their
Yes,
purpose. I got a
yes.
daughter-in-law like that. And I mean, she can really talk it, you know. And see, I never could just get it like that. I got what I got, you know, and that's it.
Well,
But
I'll
Lord
never
have
forget
mercy.
one instance. There was a person that called in from a, it's still there, from a well-known national chain store. And she said to me, she says, I want you to run a report on, and then she gave me the name. And then she added, she says, I'm not going to give him any credit, but I can at least keep this in my file. And I asked her, I said, well, what do you mean? She says, well, to make a long story short, it was a white man who was it was a black man that was with a white woman.
Okay.
And that affected her so much, she was adamant she wasn't going to give me credit just because of that.
Now, see, that was in 1965. Okay, we want to keep these years of when that was happening, because today it's no big deal to some people. Now, some people still have their issues with the interracial
Yes, they do.
relationships.
Yes.
But it you know, what I keep saying about the timeline is because the timeline is all these years that was going on, and it's only been recent that it changed. And a lot of our youth are not aware of that. They think that this was where it always has been. No, it has not. The year you talking about 1965?
1965.
Okay,
early
65.
yes,
That's what,
yes.
30, 40 years ago?
Yes.
Not that long
And,
ago.
the thing of it is, I purposely, I'll never forget, her name was Stella. I'll tell you that. I purposely made it a point to meet Stella.
Really?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Was she shocked?
Well, yeah, of course she was. What I did was I went and applied for credit there. And then when I put down Retailers Credit Bureau, that caught her eye. And she asked me, and I said, "Oh, I'm operator 13." Just to watch her face.
I can imagine.
That would have been awesome.
Wow.
But we do see that kind of stuff now.
Oh, yes.
Just sometimes when you meet people. But the biggest surprise sometimes to me be from my own people. That we do have racism among ourselves.
Oh, yes.
We keep ourselves. We work against ourselves instead of
brown
stepping
paper
up.
bag principle.
Oh, Jesus, that was deep, and it's still going on
it's
today.
Still going on, and if you don't know what that is, you're all right if you're the color of a brown paper bag or lighter. But brown paper bag and darker, then you meet additional prejudices and discriminations.
That's on this this DVD that's coming out. I think September, of Dark Girls.
Right.
Yeah, it's coming out, and it talks about that issue and how it's still going on today. Yeah.
So now in September of '65, I took the job at the post office. Now I was the first African American woman hired to deliver mail.
Wow.
Now there was another lady that another black woman that delivered mail, but she was a carrier. She hired in as a carrier. And after 3 months, she went back to carrying because went back to clerking because she did not like carrying, but she hired in originally as a clerk. I was the first black woman hired as a carrier.
That's in the United States Post Office. That's the United States, not
that's
just
in Flint, Michigan. Now I haven't researched the United States.
Oh, I would check it out.
But I know for certain it's Flint, Michigan.
It's Flint. Okay.
But it's possible.
Well, hey, we open a lot of doors here in this city.
Yes.
A lot of doors have been opened up to all people, all ethnic groups, through what happens with us as American Africans.
I met all kinds of discrimination. But also, one thing about being a black woman, you are a woman. And one of the first things that happened, back then I was shapely. I was truly a Coke bottle.
I think we all was during that time.
I had like a 24-inch waist,
okay,
38-inch hips, and always had a lot of bust. Now,
that Coca-Cola bottle shape, as they used to call it.
Yes. Now, let me tell you, the uniform that they chose, that they picked for me, did the measurements and everything. The pants looked deformed when they finally got enough darts in them.
Wow.
They looked deformed. So I decided, when my next uniform allowance came around, which was a year later, I decided that I was going to be feminine. So at that time, we had a supplier of uniforms that was local. And it was over in Lapeer Road, right beside where Channel 12 is now.
Oh.
And I went out there and I bought 2 yards of the material, regulation material, right? You were supposed to be in regulation at all times, right? So I bought 2 yards of that, made me a nice A-line skirt.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yes, I did. And you remember how the mail carriers used to, in the summer, they'd have those hats that look like jungle hats.
Right,
Pith helmets. I bought one of those. I took that ugly strap off. I put on a chiffon scarf. I put that chiffon scarf on that hat.
We have a call. Hello?
Hi. Hello, this is Wanda Harden.
Hi, Wanda. It's Kathryn
Wanda.
Blake and Kathryn Williams and Robbie Greer.
How you doing, sweetheart? Long time no hear or see you.
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Good. Do you have a question or you a comment or something?
She's calling in about the deltas. She's going to tell us about
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
deltas involved in the parade.
I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Okay.
And it's a sisterhood of more than 200,000 predominantly black women, black educated women.
Wow.
We have over 900 chapters in the United States, England, Japan, Tokyo, and Okinawa, Germany, the Virgin Islands, Bermuda, the Bahamas, and the Republic of Korea.
Wow. Do y'all ever meet?
They have conferences and conventions.
Absolutely.
Sure.
We just celebrated our 100th centennial in Washington, D.C. last month.
That's right. That's right. I saw that. Yes.
That's right. And, the programs that we do are programs that impact local communities. We focus on economic development, educational development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, and political awareness and involvement, which is where we got our start. Delta was founded in 1913, and our first public act was to march in the Suffragette March on March the 3rd of 1913.
All right.
We were the only African-American group to do so.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. And, it's quite remarkable when you think about the times. It was 1912 at Howard University. It was an era when women throughout the Western world were rebelling against the subordinate status so long attributed to women. Women were urgently demanding equal rights under the law.
All right.
And in this country, the voice of the feminist movement was logically heard most insistently in our capital, Washington, D.C., where amid all this controversy, the laws ensuring such equality were being introduced. And at that time, there was only one African-American sorority, and that was Alpha Kappa Alpha, which was founded on Howard's campus in 1906. And at that time, there was a group of AKAs who had graduated, and then there was a group of college co-eds. And accordingly, the younger members of AKA decided that their affiliation would be devoted to larger matters than those with which they previously were concerned. So they decided to create a new sorority, which was Delta Sigma Theta. So many of your listeners have heard the story that Delta,
Wanda, can you hear me, Wanda? Can you hear me at all?
And that is a true story.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I was trying to say something. Okay, are you talking about that was the Flint chapter was developed here?
No.
No,
I know she's talking about the national.
No, this wasn't the national chapter. The Flint chapter of Delta Sigma Theta was established May 16th of 1954.
Okay, all right. Just was trying to get that understanding because you was talking about the Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority
was here.
Yes, because Delta Sigma Theta evolved from Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
National.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's the national.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what happened here in Flint?
The younger members voted unanimously in 1913, January 13th of 1913, to adopt a new title, Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and to incorporate under that name. And Delta Sigma Theta celebrates its Founders Day today, January 13th, 1913.
Okay.
So, in 1913, excuse me?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, in 1913, we have a time of segregation and Jim Crow laws and voter discriminations and threats and testing at the polls. Can you write? Can you read? Not to mention sexual discrimination.
They still doing that today, sweetie.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So these 22 young college women, the founders of Delta Sigma Theta, led by their president, Myra Davis Hemmings, decided that their first act as an organization would be to participate in the March 3rd Women's Suffrage March.
Are you going to be a part of the women's suffrage movement program that Kathryn and them are having on the 26th of August?
That is correct. Delta Sigma Theta, our president, our local president, Khalila Majid, will be there, and she will speak about Delta's involvement in the suffrage movement.
Well, Kathryn, can you give us a little bit of where this is going to be? We know it's going to be from 11 to 2, August 26th, but where?
It's going to be at King's Catering on Clio Road. It's right in between Coldwater and Carpenter Road on Clio Road. I can't remember the address. I'm so sorry.
Well, just look for King's Catering, between Carpenter and Coldwater Road.
It's on Clio Road. You can't miss it.
On the west side.
On the west side.
Okay. Wanda, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to
no, that's very important to get that information out, because we definitely want people to come to celebrate with us, because it is very important as women, regardless of race, creed, or color, that we come out and celebrate the women's right to vote.
Well, we always be the one who hold our races up. And I said races. I didn't say our race. I said our races. Because even the other ethnic groups hold up their races as well as we have held up ours to improve.
Amen.
We must always move forward and make improvement in race relationships, but we also must let people know the history of how this all came about.
What's really important about the history of that march was that while Delta Sigma Theta was invited to participate,
they were?
They weren't invited. They were invited to participate.
Okay.
They were also told that they had to march at the end of the parade.
Okay, thank you.
Behind that there was a police line and then the Delta. So the Deltas didn't have any kind of protection from the local police at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, they threw things at them. Told them to go back to the kitchen. But women, we were insistent that we were going to have the right to vote, and that we were going to be able to take a role in making a difference in this country.
Amen.
Well, the real reason that the white women came together to get the vote is because they had given the vote to black men.
They got a little bit upset about that.
And so they got up and they started their march for them, because why would you put them before us?
Well, a lot of those women were abolitionists.
Whatever.
And they thought if they were going to give the right to vote, it should have been to them, not to black men.
Okay, see, that abolition, that knocks that all down to me. If you're abolitionists, hey, abolitionists were people that work to help American Africans. Okay, so you're going to get your little issue going on because they gave them the right to vote first.
Right.
But now when they were given the right to vote, should be pointed out, I believe that they
come up some, because I can't.
I believe when they gave them the right to vote, that they only had, 4/5 of a vote?
I don't know.
3/5.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't full.
It wasn't full.
3/5 of a person.
Oh, right. That 3/5.
Well, another important thing that happened during that march, as I indicated earlier, that the Deltas were told to march at the end of the parade in a segregated unit. Another suffragette, Ida B. Wells, African-American suffragette, decided she was not going to march in that segregated unit.
That's right.
And she
I love her. She's my hero.
The Chicago contingency.
I like what she did when she hid out in with the people out there, and then as soon as Illinois came by, she went right out there and marched right with them.
That's right.
But she was a very brave
firecracker.
woman. Yeah, she was started
the Deltas didn't do this without some hesitation from Howard University too, because they had to get permission. And luckily for them, Mary Church Terrell, who was the wife of Howard University law professor Robert Hill encouraged them to participate in the march. And then they had to get a male to be with them.
Right.
So they found a male, Mr. Gregory, I believe his last name was Thomas, and he joined them and walked with them because they had to have a chaperone.
Okay, Miss Harden?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, one more time where she's going to be at and the speaker that's going to be there. So, because we got to start wrapping up. It's almost getting our time out. So, okay.
Kathy?
Yeah.
Kathryn?
Yeah.
Tell them the place, the time, and the fee.
And you tell them who the speaker is going to be.
The speaker is going to be Khalila Majid, president of the Flint Alumna Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
You know, I didn't know we had so many women's sororities in American African women's sororities in the city of Flint.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just finding it out. I knew about Delta.
Zeta Phi Beta sorority, which is very active with over 60 members. We have the Kappa Alpha Sorority here in Flint with over 100 members. Delta with over 100 members. And we also have Sigma Gamma Rho, which is beginning to formulate here again in Flint.
Wow.
Okay, see, I only knew about the Deltas, and why I only knew about the Deltas is because the Deltas supported us. When I had the Museum of African Ancestry and Research Center open with our Kwanzaa celebrations, every year y'all would send us funding to do our program, and I only knew about the Deltas. See, today I'm learning about. Oh, girl, I appreciate it. I wanted to say when you was naming off all those things you was talking about, but you didn't mention culture. And you know, I heard it because y'all pushed that also, and y'all did it. Y'all just don't know how well and how glad we was to receive the funding because we had some awesome programs.
Yes.
So, you know, hey, and the flavor is gone, sweetie, right now. It's all here. It's here with me. Okay, let me let that alone.
Okay, so again, it's the Supper's Luncheon at King's Catering.
Yes, it's at King's Catering. It's on Clio Road in Flint, Michigan, in between Carpenter Road and Coldwater Road. I can't remember the address. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Senior moment. But there are also some other speakers too. See, what we're planning on doing is having the League of Women Voters to come up, and we're going to revisit the suffrage movement. And then she's going to bring up the Thursday afternoon club, Miss Rosie McCullough. She is that organization is affiliate organization with the National Association of Colored Women's Club, and she's going to speak about Mary Church Terrell and bring her into talking about Ida B. Wells, and the person that's going to do that is the UAW, and that will be Mrs. Mary Simmons.
Okay, can I interrupt? Can you give some information, a number, so that they can call you for that information?
Oh, yeah.
Of who's going to be there and all that. And the date is August 26th.
August 26th.
Okay.
And the time is?
11 to 2. Kathryn Blake, 810-701-4569.
Give that number one more time.
810-701-4569.
Ms. Harden, thank you so much for being on our program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, girl, thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to hear your voice, and you know, I wish I could see you because it's been a while. But you be God bless, and you be safe, and I will be come out there on August 26th. But I got a feeling I got something to do on August 26th. But I'll try to be out there between 11 and 2.
The program. That's what.
Okay. Okay, August 26th.
And Mrs. Robbie Grier is one of our honorees. She's one of Flint's first black women. This is one of her first, our first. And the other one is Miss Carolyn Meekins. We're going to also, even though she's deceased, she had
posthumously honor her. But Miss Grier's here, and she is from Kappa Alpha. Yes, and actually, I know I heard of AKA, but I didn't know quite what the full name was. And I'm sorry we didn't get to do your whole Wanda, please. That we didn't get to do your full presentation here, your full bio. But I do want people to know that you was the first American African woman that was a credit bureau reporter, operator in Flint. And we talk about in Flint. And, you know, I love meet the people that have made first. Because they opened the doors for so many people. They went through the discrimination. They went through the racial hatred. I got through out of places. We got ran from downtown because they didn't want us downtown when we was doing the festival. So, you know, those first, not the first that did a festival down there, but I wasn't important. But we was the first that did it during Crim.
Right.
And that's why they didn't want us down there. But anyway, that's okay. That's a whole nother story because that door is open now. They will receive their monies. They can be down there at Riverbank Park always because I'm going to say me and Miss Kathryn, because she stood with me when I called about it. But anyway, back to Miss Grier. She was the first American African woman who was hired as a mail carrier by the United States Postal Services, and she's going to check it out and find out if she was the first in the United States, and I hope you are. That was a door that you opened here in Flint. She was also on as the credit bureau operator. She was number 13, and also she had the first. Let me see. A year later, she successfully submitted a bid for her own route, and you were the first African American woman that did that. And it was the route number was number 320.
320.
South Saginaw Street from what is that? The train viaduct?
From the train viaduct
to
down
Oakley
to
Street.
Oakley Street and over to Grand Traverse.
You had a route.
Yes, those routes.
And that kept you with that Coca-Cola figure because you was walking.
No.
Was that route white?
It was when I first started. I was there for 4 years, and it even evolved then. There were whites that were moving out and blacks that were moving in.
Yeah, because at one point in time, blacks could not live across Saginaw Street. We were really boxed in, you know. So.
And even on the south side, they were boxed in and couldn't go west of Saginaw. That was really something. But I remember when they couldn't, when it was something for somebody to be west of Industrial.
I remember them days too.
Wow.
I remember the box that we were in. And until they call it urban removal, I call it Negro removal, that we started expanding out, you know. So, yeah, they had us boxed in. One of these days we'll tell you some more history about that. But we got to move on because our time is getting short. It's almost 4 o'clock. Miss Grier?
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
Amen.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Even just to have you here to let us know what you have done as American African woman in the city of Flint. Have done many firsts, as I call it, and opened the doors for other younger, you know, other people, even the other ethnic groups to come through that door.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Kathryn, one more time about that, and then I got an announcement after I do this announcement. Claiming victory over violence, citywide, powerful, and effective 2-day youth evangelism conference, which will be held at the Renewed Faith Church. Reverend Al Williams is pastor at Northern High School Auditorium. That's most people know where Northern High School is, but they know it from the Dayton Street way. But we gonna ask you to come in through the Mackin Road way.
That's the new Northern.
The new Northern is closed.
Right.
Okay. Our Bayou for You Friday night service will be held August 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. Our guest speaker will be Reverend Blake T. Strozier from Antioch Baptist Church. We will have gospel groups there, and also we'll have comedian Nate King, who will be singing his awesome song, Against Violence, Increase the Peace. Thank you. On August 31st, we'll have Victory Over Violence from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. workshops. We'll have instructors Sharon R. Sadler, lecturer and author of Hold Up Your Own End, Nonviolence Guides for 2 days, youth grades K to 12, and Rashonda Womack Sankofa Counseling Ministries. What we're doing with this program, this is our beginning. This is the second conference that we have had. And what we're doing is we're training youth to be evangelists. We feel that if you get put the love of God in these youth. This is our answer to the violence, is getting God into these youth and putting them out there as evangelists, have the love of God within them. Sin got to go. Amen. All that hatred and murder got to go. And, you know, the youth today don't want to listen to us. They be back at church. They be in there playing texting and playing games. They're not listening, but they will listen to each other. Mm-hmm. They understand each other's language. Mm-hmm. So we're training youth to become evangelists, and that's what this program is about. Mm-hmm. And we hope that y'all, that people come. Ages youth 7 to 11, young adults 12 to 30. And registration is $7 per youth. For more information, you can call me at 810-742-2693. That's going to be August 30th and 31st. You can call me at 810-742-2693. And it's claiming the victory over violence. We got to do something, and this is what the Lord gave me.
That's each one, teach one.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is what he gave me to do this youth evangelism and train them to be evangelists. Get them out there. This is the army rising up.
Right.
Because they don't look at the youth. You know, they don't even talk to youth about what evangelism is. Yet youth are doing it all the time. Mm-hmm. They just need to know what it really is. Mm-hmm. And let's get them out there. This is the army that's rising up. Okay. Kathryn, one more time, name the...
this is the 100th year anniversary of the suffrage, with the Women's Suffrage March of 1913. This will be held at King's Catering. This is going to be August the 26th, 2013, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The address is
it's on Clio
Road, in between Coldwater and Carpenter Road. You can give me a call for more information. I do have the address. It just escapes my mind right now.
Give them your number.
810-701-4569. 810-701-4569.
Once again, thank you, Wanda, for calling in and giving us that awesome history on the Deltas. Thank you, Ms. Grier, for being here. And that's our story on at this point in time, because I think this is the last time that we're going to have a chance to do the women's suffrage movement, isn't it? Or is it going to be all month?
Is our next radio
okay,
show.
So we'll be doing it again.
Right.
Oh, that's what we got to be. That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah. Well, right after.
I knew something was happening on the 26th. But let me move on, because we are going over. Our story is about our American African heritage and culture. Satora's Black History Corner internet program comes to you via satellite Ustream. That's USTREAM.TV.channel / Flint Talk Radio. That's one word. I got it, John. You hear me? I got it finally. Yeah. That's at Ustream TV, Ustream.tv.channel / Flint Talk Radio. You can watch our program every second and fourth Monday of the month, starting at 3:30 p.m. Also, be sure to watch what's going on with political pundit Dr. George Moss every Monday at 2 p.m. We hope you enjoyed the song that you heard at the beginning of the program, Be Proud to Be Black. If you would like to purchase the CD single, you can contact TP at 810-962-3258. That's TP at 810-962-3258. As always, we like to say Asante, which means thanks to all of you who have watched our program today. And if you like what you have heard and seen, please pass it on to others. Finally, I'd like to leave you with this announcement of God's, I already did that, God's Couple of Blessings Youth Ministries 2-Day Conference. In the meantime, while you're waiting for our next program, keep on keeping on with us, along with the sounds of TPCD single, Be Proud to Be Black. May God bless you and keep you safe and in his perfect peace, which means peace. Mwah! Thank you.
Asante.
All right.
We must work passionately and unrelentingly for first-class citizenship.
For instance, if the average so-called Negro, he doesn't think that he can go into business and provide jobs for himself.
We've got to get smart. We've got to organize.
And because of this, he thinks that he can only get a job from the white man, or he can only get clothes from the white man, or he can only get food from the white man.
We got organized so effectively and so well and engaged in such powerful creative protest that there will not be a power in the world that can stop us.
We gotta be proud to be black. Don't worry about what they say. Gotta think smarter and live smarter. We gotta want more and work harder, cause they ain't giving it to us. Put your all in. If you truly wanna make it, can't be waiting for handouts, baby, you gotta take it. Like Martin gotta have a dream, cause he had one. Like Malcolm, by any means, gotta get that done. Don't be ashamed of who you are, stick your chest out proud. Make them believe that you're the best, show them what you about. We gotta love each other, stop killing each other. We gotta unitize, and don't believe the lies. This is a message to the blacks and any other minority. Live well and love self, that's the priority.
Been taught for so many centuries that they are nobody is not easy.
So they very skillfully made you and me hate our African identity.
Maybe the English language should be reconstructed so that teachers will not be forced to teach the Negro child 60 ways to despise himself and thereby perpetuate his false sense of inferiority.
Our features and our skin and our blood, while we had to end up hating ourselves. It made us feel inferior.
We must no longer be ashamed of being black.